So it's been a long time since I recorded a video, but I recently got a comment which asked where I had been. It was a very nice comment and I got a bit inspired to do another video. So I've gotten some great records and quite a lot over the past year. So this is probably gonna take a few videos to just catch up with everything. But I got a good selection today, which is records, a few that I bought sort of sporadically during the spring, and the rest I bought on a record fair a couple of weeks ago. But I'm gonna start with what I'm currently listening to. Maybe you can hear it in the background, and that is this one, which is Enhet för fri musik. And as you can see, I got their shirt on as well. And this is an album that has come out of this scene, which has been going on for around like 10 years or so, a bit more maybe, in Gothenburg, which does produce some absolutely amazing music. It's hard to explain exactly what kind of music it is. It's very experimental, avant-garde at times, a lot of ambient stuff. It's not so much based on melodies, although some records are more melodic than others. This one in particular doesn't really have many melodies. It's sort of, or when there are melodies, they're sort of deconstructed and distorted. But it is a very good one, and maybe you can hear a bit in the background. And I can actually show you. The cover is just very DIY, sort of just two pieces of paper on a blank sleeve, hand assembled, but it is really nice. So yeah, and I'm not the most knowledgeable person on this music scene. I'm sure there are more knowledgeable people out there, but I may do a video later when I have collected a few more records from the scene, sort of describing exactly what it is. But for now, this is the only one that I have. So next up we got this guy, and you all probably know what this is. This is Kaleidoscope Tangerine Dream, and this is probably, in my opinion, the best pop psych album ever. I think it tops Odyssey and Oracle and all of those heavy hitters. This is of course also a heavy hitter, but I got this at a record fair, and I believe this is a bootleg, but this is the first time I've seen it out in the wild, so I thought I have to pick it up, and it does actually sound very good. You can just read some from the hype sticker here. Psychedelic folk quartets. Doesn't really say anything of interest here, but the originals of this go for a lot, as you probably know, so I'll probably never have one. So I am happy with this pressing. And there are just so many good songs on this record, and if I were to name my favorites, I would probably name the whole album. So if for any reason you haven't heard it, definitely check this guy out. Moving on, we got another sort of pop psyche album, The Tiffany Shade, self-titled. This one, I wouldn't say it's not as good, but it still does its job perfectly. This is a bit more maybe light-hearted, not maybe as sophisticated, if you could call Kaleidoscope sophisticated, but they are very well crafted songs on that one. This one is a bit more light-hearted, as I said, but it still does have some really good songs, like Would You Take My Mind Out for a Walk, Comes, or No Reality, The Quiet Revolution, Not Worth the Pain. So if you haven't heard this one, this is maybe a bit lesser known, but yeah. And it was released on the Mainstream label, so I think a lot of the Mainstream records sounds fairly similar. So yeah, The Tiffany Shade. Next up, we got two albums by the same artist. This is one of my absolute favorite artists, and I was actually at the gym a day and I wanted to listen to a podcast, so I didn't really know what I wanted to listen to, so I just searched searched Vashti Bunyan. Turns out she was part of a podcast, I don't remember the name of it, but that has just been released either that day or the day before, and she talked about that she would reissue her album Look Aftering. This is from the middle of the 2000s, 2006 maybe. I'm not 100% sure, but somewhere around there. And this was or 2005 probably, because this is the 20th anniversary edition, which comes with the album on one disc and then some demos and outtakes on another one. Does also come with a very nice booklet, which has some paintings by her daughter and also the lyrics. So some very nice paintings actually. And as I said, this is one of my favorite artists. I think Just Another Diamond Day is my favorite one, but I find it's also very rare that I like the later outputs by some of the 60s and 70s artists. But I think Vashti Bunyan, it's still incredible, and everything that she has done. But this is Look Aftering, and a funny story. This was only released in the UK and the US, and I live in Sweden, so to order from those countries you're gonna have a lot of tariffs and taxes put on your stuff. So it would have cost me about 800 probably, maybe even more, to get this record. But a store in Sweden actually had it on their website, so I ordered through them. Took a while, so I messaged them, hey, where's my record? And they said that it had gotten a bit scuffed. Hopefully you can see that. I'm not sure if it's in focus, but this was a little scuff on the corner right there, and they gave it to me for half the price. So I actually only paid just below 20 euros for it, so that was very nice. The second record is Heartleap. This is her last album, released in 2014. I really hope she does release some more stuff, because yeah, I love it. I found this at the record fair I talked about earlier. Very similar musically to the previous one, Look Aftering. Just very minimal, and I think both the instrumentation is minimal, the melodies are very minimal and gentle and tender, and the lyrics are also very minimal, but they really talk to me in a fundamental way. So yeah, it's just very beautiful, soft and perfect. Moving on. Next up, we got this guy, which is The Great Society with Grace Slick, which, if you didn't know, was Grace Slick's band before the Jefferson Airplane. And I believe this never was released back in the 60s, but came out maybe in the 80s, I think. I'm not sure, maybe someone can correct me, but I do believe that's correct. And the claim to fame of this album is of course Grace Slick, but they also had recorded White Rabbit and Somebody to Love, which is probably the Jefferson Airplane's biggest hits. So I'm not really sure what I think about this record. It's definitely good, it's a good listen, but it's not top tier. But it's fun to hear those songs in their sort of embryonic stage, and it is a bit more folky than the Jefferson Airplane, but it still has sort of a trippy feel to it. So I do still recommend it. Next up, we got a Dylan record. I'm slowly but surely completing my Dylan collection. This is Bringing It All Back Home, which I have been recently into this guy and Highway 61. But yeah, I don't know really how much there is to say about this other than it's a really good record. This is sort of when Dylan started to get a bit more out there, like with cryptic lyrics and funny instrumentation and all that stuff. Really good, and of course I recommend it. It's a classic. We got 2 more records. This is the Third Ear Band, released on Harvest, and I saw somewhere it said that this was like the weirdest record released on Harvest, and it is very weird. I would classify this sort of as avant-garde folk. Does definitely have some folk undertones, but it's not a folk record. It's very dark, has some like drones and a lot of repetition. It feels very like ritualistic, like it just keeps chugging along in sort of a paganistic sort of way. Pagan, like occult pagan folk, maybe you could call it. It's hard to describe it, but it is really good, and it's a very good recording. So if you got some good speakers, definitely give this one a try, and I think you'll really enjoy it. But it's definitely not for everyone, but definitely do check it out because it is very good. Then finally we got a sort of an acid folk gem, Fresh Maggots. I believe it's self-titled, although sometimes I believe it's called Rosemary Hill, which is probably like the biggest track of it. It does here on the hype sticker from Sunbeam Record, which has done this reissue, does say there are no weak links on this consistent album, which is thoroughly recommended. Although I'm not sure what to think about it. It gets too rocky for my taste. They should have stuck to the more folk elements, because now it feels like it's not a very solid rock record, and it's not a very solid folk or acid folk record. It's somewhere in between. With that said, the high points of this record is like peak acid folk, Rosemary Hill, and I don't remember exactly which of the other songs I do really like, but Rosemary Hill is very good, dark, sort of spaced out. It feels like you're walking through the forest all dizzy, and you can sort of get the picture of what's around you, but you can't really put your finger on it, so you feel sort of isolated, scared, but it's still somehow beautiful, and that's the best description of Rosemary Hill I can give you. So definitely do check it out and give this whole record a listen, because there are a lot of different stuff, so I'm sure everyone will find something that they like. I can just give another recommendation, which is And When She Laughs, which is a very light-hearted song, which is very good, but it doesn't have that acid folk feel, which I will repeat that the high points of this are incredible acid folk, but it doesn't feel as consistent in my mind as it probably could have. I hope you have enjoyed the video. I'm sorry for taking a year off, but that's the way it goes sometimes. I will try to make a few more videos before summer, then I'll take a short break for summer, and then I'll be back again this fall. But I think you can expect at least 2 more videos after this, and try to space them out a bit so my break won't be too long. But anyway, leave a comment if you have any comments about what I've shown. I always love reading your comments. Leave a like, and if you want to, you can subscribe. But with that said, I'll see you in the next video.